Good day, and thank you for joining us on Serious Starting a Business We Can Show You How. My name is Marie Wolf, and I'm the President and CEO. Today, I am honored to have with me Katrina Clark of I Am Louisa 57. Katrina, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Definitely. Well, Katrina, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your business.
All right, my name is Katrina Clark, and I am a certified life coach. So my business is founded on the legacy of my mother, Laverne Louise Clark. So that's where Louisa comes from. The business is called Louisa 57. It's called 57 because my mother passed away just before she turned the age of 57. So I was in the process of going to school at the time when I was taking care of my mom. And then when she passed away, I was like, it's just something that I have to do in her honor and her legacy. And so I became a certified life coach, going to school for psychology. And then just the concept of the business just all came together. So Louisa 57 is a coaching practice where I focus on your mind. My tagline is mind your mind. Mental illness is something that has plagued our family. It really gripped hold of my mother. And so I was like, you know what? It's going to stop with me. I'm not going to let mental illness take over me. I mean, every now and then things just seem kind of crazy in my mind, but that's when I know that I need to take time to dedicate what I'm taking in mentally, process it. And if it suits me, good, do something about it. If it doesn't suit me, then I need to get rid of it. And then sometimes I understand that there are people that need to get another form of counseling or mental health. So for overall sum total of my business, I'm about mental health. Minding your mind is my goal.
Wonderful. And that's something that the focus over the last 10 years has been really brought towards us. I'm so glad that you're doing this. Now, do you find that you see more men or more women that you come in contact with that you can help that may be dealing with situations of mental illness?
Well, in regards to mental illness, I see mental illness out in society easily. I mean, in the DMV area, which is so funny because the American Psychological Association, their big office is right here in DC. And it's funny because it's like, man, this big office is here, but I can go out on the street any day and see people that are battling with mental illness. And it's extreme forms that I see, but then there are people who I work with day to day in society, family, and they have mental health issues. It's not to the point where they have to be in a straitjacket or anything, but it's thoughts that they are battling with, and affects how they interact with people. It affects how they feel about themselves. I mean, you have people that are suicidal. And so those things is like, okay, you're not on the verge of being carried off in a life jacket. You understand that these are the things that you're thinking and interpreting. Let's deal with that. So I'm more focused on what you can deal with right now, so that it doesn't get to a higher point. It doesn't get to a level where it's uncontrollable, and then the next thing you know, you have to be commit somewhere. So I coach more women, but I have a few people that I'm working on with another project, and it's mixed with men and women. That's a group project.
Good. Throughout the United States alone, and actually throughout the world, but specifically the United States, since that's where we live, and we see more on a day-to-day basis of, how, mental illness can affect, our citizens. I wish that some of the programs that they have would be geared more towards helping those within the United States, like the soldiers that come back from war that are, affected at a point where they barely can function. And then other people that are going through it. But I see that, we got programs for, and I'm not putting anything, against helping others coming to our country or, to assist them into their transition for a better way of life. But like with other countries, I think that if they had more programs to help the United States citizens as well, and those that are coming into our country that are suffering from mental illness, things will be a lot better. And I think that some of the programs, I hope, if someone's listening that has that type of authority, can implement something that can help people so that, like you said, their transitioning doesn't go to a negative state, and also to be able to help companies like yours that are dedicated and helping, people so that they won't have to go down the road of no return. So I hope if someone's listening and you have the authority to be able to provide funding towards, companies and foundations like Ms. Clark's, please reach out to her. And at the end of our interview, she will provide information so that you can. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Because this is such an issue that, that's not being taken as seriously. I was talking to another lady from one of the businesses that we're affiliated with, and she was talking about, since COVID started, there's so many children that don't understand because they're scared.
Yeah.
Do you also talk to children or just to adults?
So one of my big things is that I am working on is also developing a mentoring practice for youth that are in foster care, because foster care affects me as well. And just the mindset of a lot of youth, they're about to leave the foster care system. They don't have family, and that affects them. That affects them is an overwhelming percentage of the youth that leave foster care. 1 in 5 end up being homeless, end up being seriously depressed, on drugs. And so it's my goal to actually help them as well. And as you did say, there are children that are facing the COVID-19 and that are seeing their parents stress. And so they're taking all of that in and processing it. I mean, you have children who was supposed to be their first year in kindergarten. They didn't get to have that kindergarten experience. And then you have the seniors last year who didn't get to graduate, an actual graduation. And so that affects them. That's part of growing up. Those are those milestones. First day of kindergarten, you're supposed to get on the bus, and then you're supposed to walk across the stage, have big graduation celebrations and prom and all that. So yes, those things affect children as well. And so it is my goal, as I just continue to make myself available, expand my business, and make connections, that I can be almost like a sounding board for children as well, and teens. But like I said, a big part of me is focusing on the youth in foster care too.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my children, missed the opportunity of homecoming, prom, and walking across the stage. And, for the last 100+ years, we've known of, students that graduate to be celebrated, to walk across the stage. And then those, other students that have graduated from college that have, that weren't able to actually, be celebrated. So those things are important. And with the previous client that I talked to often regarding some of the issues, where I thought it was so important to bring you on the show, because you physically work with situations to make them better, is that she was stating that, through this year-plus transition that we've been in, there's so many children that are going through psychological issues. And so someone that she's affiliated with reached out to try to obtain a child psychologist. They're doing everything telehealth now. And literally, they are booked out. This was, I think, in January that this happened. They were booked out in January until November of this year. And you can, just in the DMV alone, how many child psychologists, we have. And for that issue to be, such that it is. So it's definitely a prevalent situation that needs to be, needs to have more focus on it. Now, Ms. Clark, can you tell me, what are some of the additional services or products or services, or, some events that you have that help people that are dealing with various forms of mental illness, but also illness? There's something I actually saw that you did in the past, and it impressed me so much, and my heart went out, and I said, she's such an amazing lady. You had something else on, I believe it was the Lupus Foundation, or people dealing with lupus, and my heart went out because, as we both know, it's prevalent with women, but now you're seeing more men that are also coming out with it. Before, it was more of an issue where they say it was more minority related, but now it's just more people related. So there are people from all walks of life that are suffering with it. Can you tell our audience, about a few of those things?
Yes, so I am actually on the board of directors for an organization called Social Butterflies Foundation. And Social Butterflies Foundation, we are advocates for those who live with lupus and or fibromyalgia, because there are some that live with both. Both of these are autoimmune diseases. So what you cannot see on the outside of someone, that person inside is dealing with immense pain. Autoimmune diseases is your insides are basically beating each other up in a sense. And so because people live with that and they will look normal on the outside, because that's like a contradiction to what's actually going on with them, a lot of them are living and suffering in silence. And some of them are on the verge of suicide. And again, it's another mental health issue that's going on with them. So we aim to be right there. We are the front face for them in the community. We are providing support groups so they can come out and talk about what's going on with them. But within those support groups, we also have sometimes we have a doctor that comes and talks about what's going on with them, a neurologist that talks about what's going on with them, different procedures and things that they can do. We have in the support group also, we've had people come and talk about their diet, recommending different medications and medicines. Additionally, we provide financial assistance. COVID-19 last year affected everybody. So just imagine those who already had autoimmune diseases. It affected them on a greater level. They already don't really communicate with a lot of people because anything can make their system just go crazy. And now you have COVID-19 where they can't even do even more, and many people couldn't even go to work. So with that, they're at home suffering in pain. They have children who are homeschooled, who now they have to homeschool, and then they don't have money. So we provided assistance to help them pay their bills, make sure they had grocery. We also, a lot of them had to go through treatments and they lose their hair. So we have these events called wig raisers, where we were provide them with wigs and sometimes dress them, get them all fixed up. We as women, we as people, everybody has their own styles, natural hair, short hair, long hair, or whatever. But when you have an illness and it affects how you appear, that makes you look at yourself differently. And so it is our goal to also provide them with just feeling good about self, boost their self-esteem. So we provide that. It's so many different things. And then also, like you said a while ago, it was predominantly African-American women that have these illnesses, but we're finding more and more men. So there are men that are dealing with lupus and fibromyalgia, and we have youth as well. So we have high schoolers who are dealing with pain and can't do the normal things that high schoolers are doing. And so we also have scholarship opportunities to help them get into college. So there's so many things that we're doing with a front face in the community, providing the actual support that they need right then and there.
And that's so important. I've actually, and the reason why I mentioned that to you, why I was so impressed is because those are the hidden dangers that people have, and they don't know what it is. For a while, there was no diagnosis for lupus or fibromyalgia because they couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And unfortunately, when you can't figure it out, they figure it doesn't exist. But the thing is, it does, and it exists on such a great scale. And I mentioned too, and you mentioned as well, that it's not just as it was previously, slated in the past as, just a African-American minority issue. I've run into Asian women, Latino women, Caucasian women, and men that are suffering from this. And, I also have some family members that have it too. And, it affects the mind in such a way, and the self-esteem. So I applaud you and your efforts to bring their self-esteem back up so they can see themselves as they used to be able to see themselves. We age naturally, but when you have an autoimmune disease that you didn't ask for, that you didn't create, that just, surfaced due to biology, or however it may have surfaced, it really tears a person apart. So again, I thank you for that, because there's so many women that, and men that I know appreciate what you're doing because it helps give them a brighter day.
Awesome.
Now, do you do any fundraisers? Like, are you selling anything to help towards the fundraising efforts that you've implemented? Do you have anything like that? Any products that you may have available for, the audience and the general public to be able to purchase that will help with what you're doing?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. So yes, there are fundraisers. I just completed a fundraiser event this past weekend. It was Dance Fitness Fest. So we got together with some dancers within the DC, Maryland area, located a place and had the parking lot with just dancers and fitness instructors for over 2 hours, just dancing and working out and raising funds. So we did, that was an awesome event. Also during that event, I was able to showcase what I call my mind box.
Oh, that's pretty.
So with this is a product that I created in partnership with a couple of other people. In my mind box, so beautifully wrapped here, you actually get a mug.
Oh my goodness. See, I'm a mug person. I'm sorry. I get excited about mugs.
Okay. And this is an all natural roller ball. And then also with this is included a candle. And I have various fragrances. And then it's the box itself. So what's of significance to this whole thing is that it's my goal to offer coaching services to individuals that have been thinking about getting coaching and like, oh, she focuses on the mind. What is that all about? So with this, this retails for $40. It's over $100 value, but you actually get to have 2 30-minute one-on-one sessions with me. And we start talking about your thoughts. What is it you're thinking, your emotions and things like that. So you'll get this box, you'll get a welcome letter from me, and I'll introduce you to what it is that I want you to do as we prepare to meeting. But the whole point, it's a secret in regards to what happens with this box. Let me put it up so you can see, but it's a secret in regards to what happened to this box. But this box is of ultimate significance in helping us deal with our thoughts and emotions. So yeah, it's my goal that you will warm up your nice hot beverage, you will light your candle, you'll put your little oil rollerball on, and you'll get into a place where you're just becoming one with yourself, actually taking time to just reflect on what you've encountered, how you're feeling, get in touch with your mind and your thoughts, and then start like really chipping at those thoughts and at those emotions and trying to understand where they rooted from. Are they valid? And if they are valid, is it something that's going to build you up? Is it something you're just holding on to, or is it something that you really need to confront within yourself and let go of? So that is one of my goals right there with this product and this initiative. And of course, proceeds from that will also go towards Social Butterflies Foundation. And one more thing in regards to that, there is a big event coming up on June 5th. It is called the Social Butterflies Butterfly Walk. It is a virtual walk. So that means that anybody can walk any place, anytime on that day. It's a fundraiser. We are hoping to raise collectively, because there are teams. I have my own team that I'm forming here in the Maryland area. My team is called the Purple Victors. Me and another lady, we started the Purple Victors. And that is to help us raise funds for our overall goal of $25,000. Because like I said, we're doing so many different things with people in the community. The home office is in Maryland. Oh, excuse me. The home office is in Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. However, I live in Maryland. And so I'm working to get a chapter out here in Maryland. And I find the more I talk about it, the more I know people that are like, yeah, I really need someone to talk to. I have lupus. I'm dealing with all this. I have fibromyalgia. Oh my goodness, you have something that can help us. And so I'm working to get the branch of that chapter out this way. So it is my goal to get people walking with me on June 5th. I told the president, the CEO, if we get our goal of $25,000, I will do a cartwheel. And I haven't done a cartwheel in so long, but I said I will do a cartwheel. So Yes.
That's good.
Mhm.
Wow, I'm glad you're doing this. And, you mentioned something, the repressed feelings people have. We've been so programmed as a people, and I'll just say as people, to keep going, work
Yeah.
hard. You're tired, you come home. This is men and women,
Mhm.
and you go to sleep. You wake back up with those same repressed feelings.
Yes.
You go to work, come back home, it's getting heavier and heavier. You go to sleep,
Mhm.
and it's like a cyclical cycle. And a lot of people don't have that opportunity to express themselves or have someone that wants to listen. That's
Yes.
another thing. And
Yes.
COVID's really done it in terms of, not that it's something that, we could have foreseen happening, but I've heard stories where people had the opportunity to go out and socialize that were single. COVID stopped that. So people, they're not socializing, they're not going out, they're not, having the opportunity to be, within their sports clubs, or to go out and meet new people, or to be able to
Right.
date and things like that. And that becomes an issue where people become very lonely, and everybody doesn't have family. Some people are just by themselves. So what you do is give them a light at the end of the tunnel and an outlet to be able to talk and express themselves. And it's very healthy because, as we've seen in the news just this year alone, the first, was this now, May? Yeah, the first 5 months, has been like almost like anger related issues that have happened, where people are either
Right.
killing themselves or killing other people or killing their children and doing things that are unfathomable, that we look and we say, no, why? But again, like you said, a lot of that is you know, um, from the repressed feelings that someone may have inside. And
Exactly.
getting them out can save their life or someone else's life.
Yes.
So you know, um, I want that mug, so I'm gonna get that set. Sorry, I had to tell you that.
Okay. No problem. So
Oh, and I'd like to donate the time that would come with it to whomever you would like to give to that may not be able to afford it, that that you can help. Because I know that you do a lot of free work in the community, and I know that you do so much. And I know that your efforts are, believe me, they're not going unnoticed. I'm impressed, and I pray, and I know for a fact that there are so many others that are impressed. And I pray that everybody supports you, with the goals that you have. So you said 25K, everybody, if you can, reach
yes.
out, please make a donation so that she can assist others, to be able to become healthy again. So I appreciate that, Ms. Clark. I have another question for you. So you've mentioned so many things that you're doing and so many things that you've implemented in the past, which have really, provided a great service to our community as well as to the people that are desperately in need. But how would you further like to inspire and educate the community?
It's my goal. One of my things, what I was talking to someone about recently, maybe a week or so ago, is that I want mental health to be the new sexy. I really do. I want people to see that having your mind free, that expressing thoughts, releasing emotions, and that even if you need to see a counselor or a psychologist, I want that to be the thing. I want it to be the thing. And I don't want it to be certain communities, oh, we don't do that. We just deal with our issues. No, you're
Right.
not dealing with those issues, because what you also do not understand is that we have this term called generational curses.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, and so when you're not dealing with your issues, family that's around you, children, they are taking on those issues. And we all know what happens when you have a disease and you don't do anything about it. It reforms and it becomes worse.
Right.
So what you're able to maybe deal with, what you're not dealing with, because silently you're crying inside, and people know that, and they can feel it, they can sense it, we get the vibes. You are actually making that disease worse for the next generation, the next person. So I want mental health to be the new sexy. We take pictures about losing weight and all that, which is awesome. That's connected to your mental health too. But I also want your mental health to be like, oh man, I went to see my psychologist today. New sexy. I'm talking to my life coach today. New sexy. I was thinking these thoughts for so long, and I talked to somebody and it was like, why are you thinking that? Man, I feel better. The new sexy. So I want mental health to be the new sexy.
I like that. I like that so much because it's, as we hear these stories of when people date people, and I don't, some people come out of the box on you. You're like, oh, wait a minute, you have to select it,
Right.
and they could be gorgeous and or either hunky, handsome, or whatever it may be there, whatever term they're using nowadays. And that person, next thing you know, it's like a monster in a box,
Oh,
and you didn't see it coming. So I think that is, I love that term, the new sexy. So, you
yes.
know, that's very important. You mentioned something else, and this right here, foster children, children in foster care and orphanages all over the United States of America, really all over the world, but mainly the focus being here in the United States. It
Yes.
seems like people don't see their pain. They treat them like they're the forgotten.
Right.
And it's a thing that has to stop. Here in Maryland, now that's where I live. And you live too, right? Yeah, you're
Yes.
in Maryland. Yeah, so we both live in Maryland. There are some politicians that, in the past have definitely moved forward to making it so that orphans and those in foster care can obtain free education after I think that's important because in that type of situation when they're not being supported, they're just left to just fend for themselves at the age of 18. Okay, we did our job, you're 18, you got to go. And
Yeah.
that's not the way society is supposed to be. And the
Right.
programs that were implemented by these politicians really will help. And the thing is that they'll give them the chance to obtain their education, their dreams, moving forward to be able to do the things that they want to do. And I think those efforts, as well as your efforts combined, will definitely make a difference. What is the most important thing that you want our listeners to take away from today's interview?
Well, I stand on three goals or initiatives for the month of May. The month of May is Foster Care Awareness Month. It is Lupus and Fibromyalgia Awareness Month, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm.
Of all those, like I said before, I want mental health to be I want it to be the thing. And so out of everything that we discussed today, I want people to really embrace, even this today is May 4th. So yeah, from May 4th to May 31st, to really tackle your mind. My tagline is mind your mind. And when I say that, I mean that you are actually giving attention to your mind and your thoughts. So for the month of May, I really want the big takeaway is, hey, I'm giving myself time to mind my mind. I am focusing on what it is I'm taking in. I'm focusing on what it is that I am thinking, and I am focusing on getting myself help should I feel the need to do so.
I think that's great. I'll tell you. Well, if anyone wants to reach out to you to, sign up for the June 5th walk,
Mhm.
or for the products that you have, available for the fundraiser and for the services that you provide, how can they reach you?
Yes. So my current email, and I'm building out my website and everything right now. My current email is IAMLOUISA, the number 5 and the number 7 at gmail.com. And then you can also follow my Facebook page, which is Louisa, LOUISA, the number 57 _ mind your mind. Follow me there. And then you can also follow my IG page, which is I am Louisa 57. So IAMLOUISA 57. And I'll be doing more promotion of these mind boxes, as you say. And then also I'll do more promotion of the Social Butterflies butterfly walk. So yes, I'm excited about that. Hopefully I get people to sign up under my team. Oh, for the butterfly walk, it is the website Social Butterflies Foundation. So exactly how it sounds, social, and then butterflies foundation.org. And when they go on there, it'll be different flyers showing up, and you'll click on join the walk. And with join the walk, it'll say, ask you if you want to join a team. And hopefully you'll join my team, which is the Purple Victors.
Fantastic. Now, I was just thinking as you were speaking, have you thought about doing a monthly, chat with people, groups that can call in, and you can, kind of give them information. So, because a lot of people, they want to listen and they're sometimes afraid to be known or to, divulge what's going on with them, even though those are the people that need the help the most. Do you already do it, or have you thought about doing that, like a monthly call for people to chime in and to hear the different things that you're doing and how they could better become active in terms of being a part of the wonderful things you're doing to help our community?
I have definitely thought about it, and this was the month that I'm going to start initiating those. So now that I'm sitting here talking with you, I'll be hitting you up later, like, okay, so when should I do this? I'll be getting
Yes.
some little coaching from you on that, because I definitely want that. If it's just 5-10 minutes of just talking, or me bringing up a topic and then people just chiming in on that topic or just listening to it, because it's got to start with somebody. It's got to start. United States has how many? I can't remember, 51 billion people in the world, something like that. And people need resources, and with so many billions of people and so many, just thousands right here in the Maryland area, there are just resources that people are not aware of. They're just
Yes.
not aware of. And with you saying the number of resources that you know, and then me saying the number of resources I know, we can at least reach the people that are within our reach, to give them these opportunities to just be better people. We're not on this earth that very long.
Yeah.
We're really not on this earth that very long. So at least we want to enjoy some of the time that we're here. I mean, and starts with our mind. So yes, I definitely want to start doing those open sessions of just coming together and talking about what's going on in our minds. Yep, releasing some of those emotions and thoughts.
Well, guess what? I am glad it started with you. And I know you're going to do a phenomenal job in educating the community and helping them through the strongholds that are holding them back, and giving them an opportunity to, express themselves and to find healthier ways of overcoming, what they're going through. So again, thank you so much for what you do. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet with you today.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future.
All right. Thank you.